What's up, everybody? Good evening. Welcome to Talk Wrestling. Tonight on the Jeff Meacham Network, of course, we'll be live tomorrow on NoDQ.com's YouTube channel immediately following NXT for exclusively Ask Meach Anything. Tonight on Talk Wrestling, here on this network, we're going to be doing predictions for the upcoming pay-per-views, as well as Ask Meach Anything toward the end of the show. And as always, if you want to interrupt my lecture, if you will, there's the way to do it right there. You can super chat or donate directly at PayPal, and we'll go from there. So I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm just gonna go ahead and right into it. And it's funny, Kevin. I had the opportunity to go to Smackdown last Friday. I think if the tickets would have been purchased for me and I was told it was gonna be Raw, I probably wouldn't have gone. It's a long show. As it was, SmackDown was longer because it was the supersized show going up against Rampage. And, of course, they actually recorded Tribute to the Troops Friday night in front of us in Ontario. So we got to see a longer than usual SmackDown taping, if you will. So, but if it was Raw, I probably wouldn't have gone. This is really bright on my face. I can't even process how bright that is. There we go. I'm just wipe my damn face out. Yeah, it's Raw's just long, and when you have shows like we just had from WWE on USA or wherever you watch TSN, it's just a bad show. Lackluster, I think, is too generous a term, but anyway. So 3 big pay-per-views coming up, if you will. Good evening, Vito. How are you, sir? Good to see you here in the chat. Looking forward to seeing what you think about the matches, the shows coming up. Coming up on Thursday and Saturday, and I think they're recording the NWA show Sunday, but they're not going to air it until next Wednesday for some reason, so we will see how it lays out. But gonna go get right into it. Crown Jewel coming up this Thursday. If you're here in the States, it's at 9 a.m. my time, Pacific time, noon Eastern. I believe it's 7 o'clock Arabian Standard Time, so p.m. As I said, I will be leaving port on the Chris Jericho cruise at that time, so darn it, I'm gonna miss the show. But as Aaron said, you can catch full coverage of the matches play-by-play wise over on the NoDQ.com Twitter stream, and of course you can check out Aaron's recap live immediately following Crown Jewel. They have Mansoor going up against Ali. I mean, the obvious choice would be Mansoor. He's the hometown guy. He's the thank you, Vito. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's going to be a cool experience. I'll talk about that more later on when we get into the Ask Me Anything stuff. Mansoor, again, he's going back to where it really started for him at the Saudi Arabia pay-per-views. He's facing a guy who has been kind of not really put on the back burner, but very much held status quo. Hey, JJ, how are you, sir? Mustafa Ali. I have to go with Mansoor. It very much is an opening match. Vito's absolutely right. It should be opening match. Although I have a feeling they'll go with a more exciting opener as far as like the Raw tag titles or the or one of the tournament finals, just to really get the crowd moving. But again, I'm not booking the territory, so what do I know? My official pick is Mansoor, though. That's who I'm going with there. I kind of ranked these as far as ordered these matches for WWE anyway in the order I actually give a crap about them. And as much as I enjoy 3 of the 4 people in this ring in this match, just kind of a throwaway match. You're right, Vito. I do agree with that. Let me go ahead and take the graphic out there. I want to make sure I address your comment. They do need to start off with a hometown win, and again, that's how I'd book it. But again, we're not booking the territory. And yes, we have seen this tag title match many times already. These 4 guys have been going around the bend for, it feels like, forever. I don't know if a title change is just too obvious, and I think they're going to keep the championships with Randy and with Riddle only because of the obvious need to keep the storyline going, if you will. Because the payoff's going to come eventually where we're going to see just either Randy drop Riddle or vice versa. We've been talking about the push for Omos for a while on No DQ channel and on this channel, Vito. So again, wouldn't surprise me one bit if he gets a singles push going forward, win or lose here coming up on Thursday. All right, now I'm gonna get through this really quick. We all know I don't like Bill, just not a fan. Douchey back in the day, still don't particularly care for his brand of sports entertainment, if you will. But he's fighting for the honor of his family. So there is that factor. However, he's been very, very vocal about, I'm going to kill Lashley. I'm going to kill him. You're dead. It's a little extreme for today's WWE to be talking about killing and you're going to die, blah, blah, blah. So for that reason alone, I think they're going to put Lashley over. I know you said Goldberg goes over in a quick one, Vito, but I don't know why. I just have a funny feeling they're going to put Lashley over after all, just to throw us off the scent, if you will. I put the Queen's Crown tournament final down here way below the King of the Ring because this entire tournament has just been booked so crappy. Like I said on, I don't think I said it. I think Denise Salcedo put the total numbers up, but I did a little math. Under 14 minutes for the entire women's tournament going up to now. That is so ridiculous that these two ladies have gotten here with matches in the tournament going under 14 total. Just awful. Vito, good point about Lashley doing jobs since the title loss, but if they're going to keep their investment in him sound, they got to get him back in the winning track at some point. And he did put Goldberg and Goldberg's kid in their place. So maybe they'll continue that trend. We will see here. I agree with Kevin. If Doudrop does win, she should go back to being Piper Niven. I hope so. Yeah, Vito, they could turn Lashley babyface because who do they have to? The thing is, the champion's a babyface, so they have to have strong heels to challenge Big E. And since Drew's moving to SmackDown, kind of a necessity to have a what do you call it? A babyface champion challenged by heels, right? The old Hogan model, if you will. Matt, good evening. How are you? Good to see you, sir. Anyway, back to the Queen's Crown. I'm going with Zelina. Zelina really, I feel, is more deserving of the title of Queen of the Ring, or whatever we're going to call this the crown winner. I like Piper Niven. I don't like the Doudrop character. I think it's really, really silly, and that's saying something for WWE with the women's division. But I just feel like Zelina is more in that place than Doudrop the character is. If it was Zelina Vega against Piper Niven, like you said earlier, Vito, if it was those two as those regular characters, then yeah, toss of the coin. But since Doudrop's in this ridiculous, character, I'm going with Zelina. All right, matches I actually care about now. And the SmackDown Women's Championship match is going to be a solid outing. You've got three of the best, arguably the three best female talents on the roster, not named Charlotte Flair, if you will. So you talk about a coin toss, you can't do a coin toss three people. So I'm going to make the safe bet and go with Becky Lynch, and actually agree with Vito that Bianca takes the pin. Becky wins, Bianca takes the pin. Sasha stays out of the fat of the fire. And I know that sounds weird considering how much they've been behind Bianca and they've really done nothing with Sasha. You think Sasha should be the one to take the fall? I agree with Vito that Belair's going to take the pinfall in that. I dare say she'll even submit maybe to the disarmer or whatever Becky calls her move now. Here's a great quote. The fact that Doudrop got drafted and not Eva Marie could be a telling sign that she'll lose the gimmick, especially since the draft picks go into effect after Thursday. True. And that could be a sign that she becomes the queen. But again, Thursday will be I'll be well out of the range of mileage to give a shit, to be perfectly honest with you about the whole show. But I'll be keeping tabs on it as I can. I think, Dad, what time we put out of Harbor on Thursday? 10:30 our time or 10:30 Eastern? Okay, so when the show goes live at noon, we will be already way out in the water. So there you go. So I won't have to care, like I said. All right, I do care. I've been saying this all week about this match. I'm so happy they're doing this. They're making Hell in a Cell actually mean something. Hell in a Cell, by all rights here, should be a feud ender. This should be the end-all, be-all between these two vicious rivals. You've got Edge, you've got Seth Rollins, you've got Seth Rollins doing home invasions, you've got Edge losing his rated R mind over all these goings on between these two since before SummerSlam. I firmly stand with that. And again, another toss up. Vito's 100% right here. So I'm literally going to do just that. Let me see if I have a coin. I think I have a quarter down here somewhere. Just so it. There it is. Okay. Good call on Vito there to do a toss up here, because I honestly can't make a pick here because both these guys can benefit and both of them can still survive a loss. So we're going to go with heads, Mr. Washington, that Edge wins, and tails, the other side of the coin, that Seth Rollins wins. So heads, Edge, tails, Rollins. Here we go. That was a leak. Didn't even go in the air. Hang on a minute here. Okay. Whoop. Come back here. There we go. All right. Up in the air. Down it goes. I lost it. Oh, shit. That's what happens when you do stuff live, folks. Okay, we're going to try a different coin and see if we can keep better tabs of it, because apparently the silver blends in. All right, let's see. Yeah, no. Okay, we'll try this again. We'll do a penny. Heads is Edge, tails is Rollins. Here we go. And I'm going to pick it. I'm going to do it right here. I swear on my kid, it came up heads, so I'm going with Edge. There you go. I think it came up heads in the quarter, too, if I'm not mistaken. But when I find it, I'll let you guys know on social media. Anyway, so yeah, it's not quite your great live show, but anyway, Brendan picks Seth again. Vito called it a coin toss. Good grief! I swear I haven't drank anything except Crystal Light yet. The alcohol come on the cruise. So yeah, my official pick is Edge. I went with the coin toss. All right, where are we at here? King of the Ring. I can't pick against Woods. Like, he's been pushing for this since his childhood, pretty much. He's wanted to be King of the Ring since he was a kid growing up as a fan watching the WWE. So the smart money is with Woods. And I think they've done so much with Balor to make us think they're going to do anything further with him. And then they don't. So I really think we're going to have King Woods. Interesting prediction by Big Vito here that the New Day officially ends with this. Oh, okay. So, well, okay. Let me ask you this, Vito. If the King of the Ring tournament match happens before the WWE Championship, and I am predicting Big E retains, by the way, let me go ahead and throw that out there right now. I'm picking Big E to retain. It'd be very interesting if they were celebrating the winning of the crown and Woodsy does the turn. We've all been saying for so long that we have a breakup of the New Day, but I don't see it happening. I mean, they had multiple opportunities to do it. So if they haven't done it already, I don't think they're going to. But I would love it if it happened just for the sake of the shock value, right? Prince Finn needs a promotion, King, but my heart wants Woods to win. Promotional to King Finn. Got it. Okay, gotcha. I mean, yeah, he was Prince Devitt. He's the Prince now with the Balor thing. So, I like that. Okay, so you're all of them on top, then they break up. Okay, well, again, they've had that too, but we'll see, because they were Freebird Rule tag team champions for a while, and they didn't do it then. So we'll see. Your main event's going to be Lesnar and Reigns. I mean, there's just no doubt about that. This is going to be your big money match. And again, it's another one of those coin toss things because of Paul Heyman. And where did his loyalties lie? Do they lie with Brock Lesnar? Do they lie with Roman Reigns? I believe either way that Roman will retain coming up on Thursday here in over in Saudi Arabia. Brendan says Roman wins. Vito says Lesnar over Heyman swerve. Again, that's been the consensus that we're going to have a Heyman swerve, but I believe it when I see it because that's almost like the easy bet, but we'll see. I love the way Brock cast out with Roman during the SmackDown contest. Yes. Thank you, JJ. I meant to go live on Friday, and I didn't have the opportunity to because of traffic and whatnot. But yeah, Brock saying that Heyman was his advocate was just so beautiful. It cast so much doubt. And if you were there after the show and off the air, Roman acted legit pissed. He came out for the tribute to the Troops match with, I think he faced Nakamura. Man, he was an angry champion. So very well could be Lesnar and Heyman walk away together. We'll see. Shane says, I think Heyman will go with Brock. Don't forget that Roman's trying to surpass Lesnar's longest reign. He is. This is true. Vito's saying Reigns gets time off. Interesting take. Brandon says they have been teasing it, but I don't think it'll happen. I don't either. I think we're going to have Roman retain the Universal Championship, and it's going to be, if it's clean, I'll be very surprised, though. That I will say. If it's a clean win for Roman Reigns, I will be the most surprised guy on that cruise ship when I read the results because I'm not going to watch. All right, let's move on to Bound for Glory. Well, let me go ahead and because I don't remember the people in this match, but I don't have a proper graphic, so I do apologize. Brock's always been garbage on the mic. He was good in that moment. It was short, sweet, and to the point, Jay. It was a great little stab at the foundation of the bloodline. So very, very well done. I agree there. All right. So one of the matches announced for Bound for Glory, which is actually Saturday night out in Vegas at, I want to say it's at Sam's Town. I think it's where they're having the event. Is the crowning of the first ever digital media champion. And my understanding is they're going to have this championship defended exclusively on Impact Plus, the app, and all of their other platforms. I talked about this a couple weeks ago, that it seems kind of behind the times in that all the major companies are on platforms now. So why have a championship exclusive to that when they can have it? Do they really need more titles? I don't think they do. But in this match, it's actually intergender. It's a 6-way match. You've got John Skyler, Crazy Steve, followed by Jordan Grace, Chelsea Green, and let's see here. Chelsea Green or Madison Rayne. I guess that match will be determined on Thursday. And then Alicia Edwards or Tennille Dashwood. So it's going to be Alicia or Tennille, and then Chelsea or Madison, already added to John Skyler, Crazy Steve, Falaba, and Jordan Grace. Based on that lineup, I think they're going to give it to Jordan Grace. I think Impact has been really high on Jordan for a very long time, and probably wanted to put her back in the Impact Knockouts Championship picture, but Deanna's been so amazing in that role, they didn't want to take her out of there. So my guess is that your first ever digital champion will be Jordan Grace. All right. They're also doing what they're calling a call your shot gauntlet match. The winner receives a trophy and a contract they can invoke anytime within 1 year for a championship match. So basically it's Money in the Bank. Is what Money in the Bank, Feast or Fired, the whole nine. We'll get to a Christian's match in a minute, but as far as Tony Khan buying Impact, they need to get their football team together first before they try to figure out buying more properties, because the Jaguars suck. And they won the other day, so it shows how much I know, but like they need to get the Jaguars above 500 before they talk about buying any of their properties, trying to, them to their liking. The Jaguars won their first game in 20-something, 25-something games. Yeah. Anyway, this call your shot, like I said, it's Money in the Bank type gauntlet, and it looks like there's going to be 1, 2, 3, there's going to be 20 altogether. And it's been determined that entering first is going to be none other than the former X Division champion, former world champion, actually. I forget. I was sure he won the world title at one point. Chris Sabin. And entering last at number 20 will be the former Big Cass, W. Morrissey. He's in at number 20. So far announced: Rich Swann, Brian Myers, Moose, Raj Singh, Ace Austin, Laredo Kid, Madman Fulton, and Matthew Reinwalt. And there's going to be 10 more people announced between now and Saturday. So busy match for sure. My pick, I mean, God, not knowing everybody in the match right now, I'll go ahead and go with, I say Sabin will run the gauntlet, but he'll lose at the end, which would put him against Morrissey. So that doesn't seem like a very good pick on my end, does it? Let's say the person facing Morrissey at the end will be Rich Swann, and he pulls out the victory. If no, he has another match on his own, Shane. We'll get there in a minute. If Willie Mack's in there, I'll put my pick on Willie because that's our guy. We love Willie Mack. All right, Violent by Design will take on Heath Slater. Heath, he doesn't have his last name anymore, and a mystery opponent. It will not be Rhino. I guess Rhino had a crisis of conscience or something like that, and is not with Eric Young and the Crazies anymore. So, again, you have to think the babyfaces are going to pull out the victory, and it's going to be a name that we haven't seen yet in Impact that's going to make quote unquote an impact. So my pick is with Heath and whoever he brings out. I don't have a pick for the mystery partner. I mean, Rhino seems too obvious at this stage. I haven't watched a whole lot of Impact, I'll be honest with you, but I wanted to give them their promotion here and give predictions. I was going to have Noah Foster and Casey do the watch along on Saturday, but I won't be able to be at the desks to run the control rooms. So I kind of figured, with any luck, I'll be either on a shore excursion Saturday or, watching Paradise Kitty or Fozzy or whoever. So, PJ is not a bad pick there. PJ, I think his name is PJ Gabriel, what they call it, is what he goes by now on the indies. I think he's back in the business, so that works. I like that. All right, where are we at here? All right, Knockouts Tag Titles, the debut of the Inspiration. Of course, Cassie Lee and Jesse McKay, the former Iconics, Billy and Peyton, taking on Decay. That's Rosemary and Havoc, of course. Make it quick here. New tag team champions. They've got to do something to shake up the company, and I think the Inspiration is a hot commodity right now. They are some of the hottest free agents in the business right now. I know people kind of crap on me for saying that about them. I enjoy them both tremendously, and I think they'll be your new tag team champions of the Knockouts division. With the Walking Weapon challenging for the world title, we have a vacancy for the X Division Championship, and it'll be decided in a match. Let me see here if I can. There we go. Trey Miguel, Steve Macklin, and El Fantasma, which I find so funny that Legado de Fantasma was in contention for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship and the North American Championship. Now we have Phantasmo, accompanied by, of course, Hikilu and Chris Bay, against Steve Macklin and Trey Miguel. I mean, I'm going to go with Trey because I know. Trey Miguel is the one I know most about, and I think he is hungry. He wants to be champion. I mean, everyone wants to be champion, right? But I know Trey Miguel's story more than the other two, so I'm just going with a safe bet of what I know. This match, I'm looking forward to tremendously. We've got Deonna Purrazzo defending the Impact Knockouts Championship against a lady who has held it multiple times over. She's a surefire wrestling Hall of Famer, no question about it. She's held the WWE championships. She's held the TNA championships. She's a 3-time Knockouts champion. She's a 6-time WWE champion between the Women's and the Divas Championship. She, as far as I know, is just behind Trish. Of course, Charlotte is now a 13 or whatever the hell it is now, time champion. So she's the leader of the pack in WWE side. But yeah, Mickey overall has been a champion 9 times on the world title stage. She was champion in OVW, I believe, as well. I could be wrong there. I'm not. I take that back. But she's been all over the world. You know, she's a producer for the NWA now. She's married to the National Treasure. We can't forget that, Nick Aldis. But Deanna has been the dominant female presence on Impact Wrestling for a very long time. And I don't, as much as I want to say that Mickey's going to be the person to take her down, I know better. Mickey's a legend, no doubt about it. But Deanna is definitely that viable commodity. That she is the virtuosa. She is the standard bearer within Impact Wrestling, and she will remain so coming up after Saturday. And then you got a world championship. I mean, Christian Cage, the Instant Classic himself, he's been champion before in Impact, but it was the whole NWA thing, and he has a fresh chance, even though he's technically on the AEW roster. He's also the Impact champion. But having said that, you have a AEW roster member as your Impact World Champion. That presents a problem forward thinking going forward. And this guy, Josh Alexander, the walking weapon, he has been he's very much Michael Myers, force of nature, destroys everything in his path. And I think that he will walk out of Las Vegas as your new Impact World Champion. I wasn't going to run commercials today, but apparently I have to because somebody's in here bugging when he knows I'm on the air. So let me go ahead and run a commercial. I will be right back in just a second. And there you go. Coming up on November 18th, I'll be live at the happiest place on earth celebrating Mickey the Mouse, as JJ would say himself. And I was actually Dylan saying goodnight. I didn't even take a break, but I did anyway. So there you go. All right, let's get through the predictions for NWA, and then we'll open up the question pool for you guys. Appreciate that very much. Let's go ahead and get right into it. NWA is, I believe they're recording Sunday, but they're going to air it Wednesday, I guess. That's what I saw on the previews for this show. So let's go ahead and jump in. We've got Judeus with the Sinister Minister himself, James Mitchell, taking on Sal Renaro with Danny Deals. They're not going to Judeus lose. If you're watching NWA Power every week, if you watch the pay-per-view in NWA 73, this guy is a wrecking machine. There's no reason he should be losing this soon. So got to go with Judeus there. Mims, who I believe is not affiliated with the Tyrus camp, but he is very much against Scion here. Of course, that's the name they give him, the Mystery Man, the Masked Man, if you will. I like Mims. I like his drive. I like his athleticism. I like the guy all around, but they got to keep the mystery going with Scion. They got to keep the mystique around the Mystery Man. So he wins here. DePope against Colby. I like Colby Carino, and I love his dad. I love Steve so much. I've loved Steve from a long, long time. And let me go ahead and go back to the other match there. Yes, JJ, I agree. I love that James is still involved in the business. You and I both, quote unquote, grew up watching Mitchell in ECW. I actually watched him in WCW. So he's been around a long damn time, and good on him that he's still around. Interesting to see his portions of the Canyon Dark Side of the Ring. Very, very interesting material that we found out about. Anyway, Pope and Colby. Again, I love Colby. I love his dad. But they've got to keep the Pope strong. They got to keep Pope moving toward that shot against Murdoch. So I think he wins here. steel cage match between two former partners, now bitter enemies, the former War Kings. You've got Crimson, you've got Jax Dane. It's very easy to paint the picture against Crimson. He's been in the big time, and now he's putting the younger guys over. But Jax Dane is no spring chicken either. They've both been around a while. Jax Dane was the world heavyweight champion, prior to Tim Storm becoming champion. Tim Storm beat Jax for the title, and then, of course, evolved into the Billy Corgan era with Tim holding the 10 pounds of gold. So this is going to be your sleeper match. It's going to be bust up. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be barbaric, I dare say. And I do believe that Jax Dane walks out as your victor here. Women's tag titles. Well, I guess we're going back to the other match since we're talking about this guy again. Let's see here. Kind of wish Shane, you know what? He made a brief appearance. He didn't stick with WWE long term. I don't think he was going to, was the thing there. So, but I get what you're saying. I wish he would have stuck around mainstream longer, but I'm glad he's with NWA now. And I've always liked Crimson too, JJ. I felt he could have been a bigger star in Impact than he ended up being. I guess they did the whole thing with him and Amazing Red as relations. That was haha, but I think Crimson has much more left to give, and I think a loss won't necessarily hurt him like I think it would hurt Jax Dane. Let's see here. Women's tag titles. The first champion since 1983, I think, is what we just came around to. The Hex, Allison Kay, former, of course, women's champion, Marty Bell, former TNA Knockout, against Kylie Rae and Tootie Lynn. Of course, Tootie Lynn came into NWA in St. Louis, the hometown girl, and made an impact, made her presence known. Kylie Rae's kind of, and again, I'm not familiar with her work prior to her hiatus, so forgive me for stepping all over my own feet here. But her character is intriguing. I like the whole she's smiley Kylie, she's everybody's favorite, and then you turn her loose and she goes bad shit. And if she gets mad, watch out. I love it. But I will say that Allison and Marty, the Hex, will continue to reign as tag champions. Much like the same here in this match. We had Kenzie Page against Camille. This was supposed to happen at NWA 73, I believe, or at actually, I think it did happen at shit, I don't remember that awful. Hang on. I apologize, you guys. Let me just check some. That's what happens when you're live and you don't have everything prepared. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this match I thought it happened in Power, but maybe not. No. Paola Blaze beat Kenzie in a singles match prior to the show. The championship was Layla Hirsch. That's right. Layla Hirsch against Camille. And then at 73, Camille defeated Chelsea because Chelsea won the tournament, the match the night before. That's what it was. Okay. I got it all together. That's it. Yeah, that's it. We're live, folks. There we go. So this match was supposed to happen before, and for some reason it got bumped or move forward or whatever the case may be. So it's happening now, and I think it should have happened, and I think it will be a great match. Kenzie's a cool talent. I've liked her, and but they're not going to have Camille lose just randomly here, so I think that she will retain. And what I like is the main event tag match. You've got the former members Strictly Business. You've got Latimer and Adonis going up now. See, it says here that Adonis is going to challenge, defend against. They're whoever's writing the Wikipedia page for this pay-per-view is off. They are spastics. So no. Anyway, this is your main event right now. You've got Nick Aldis returning to action after being brutalized by his former best friend Tom Latimer and his former partner Chris Adonis. And he's recruited Murdoch to step up to be his partner. So the match we had on NWA Power will now be your main event match coming up at the pay-per-view this weekend. And God, I don't want to believe it's going to be a swerve, but man, it reeks like it's gonna. Nick's so much better as a heel and as a guy who's nipping at the champion's heels when he's not champion. But God, I just don't want to see another stupid dusty swerve or finish, whatever you want to call it. That's so bogus. So Anyway, my official prediction is that Latimer and Adonis lose, that the champ and the national treasure pick up the victory as a solid tag team. All right, let me put the banner up because it is that time. Ask me anything. There you go. There it is. Right? Yeah, it's it very much could be the Flair Dusty thing. Wouldn't surprise me even the slightest. I think I answered everybody's questions because I didn't stick to my my policy of waiting for the super chat. So I'll just go ahead and close her up. So a lot of things going down this week. Let me go ahead and give a cheap plug, if you will. Tomorrow, double shot for yours truly over here on this channel and on the Facebook and the Twitter. We'll have Boy Sports Bar. Yes, it will be at 7:00. I know I promoted it at 6:30. Not the case. It'll be at 7. And 4:00 Pacific, we'll have NHL coverage. The Kings finally got in action. Updated postseason results. By that time tomorrow, we may have the Dodgers out of it. We'll see how their game goes, how Game 3 goes. Hush your face, Shane. I'm hoping that's not the case. But and then after NXT, I'll be back on NoDQ.com's stream officially for the NoDQ version of Talk Wrestling, which will be officially 100% Ask Me Anything coming up on Tuesday night, tomorrow night, Wednesday night. My final stream before I go on the cruise, live stream anyway, will be the Greg Cherry Show. We'll be talking about NFL football, college football, WWE, AEW, weird state laws from Colorado, our Wednesday Q&A. And if you donate, of course, you get a spin of the wheel. If you donate $100, you get to challenge Greg for the WTC Championship. And yes, I have questions ready. If you have the chutzpah to challenge Greg right there on the spot. So keep that in mind as you go forward tomorrow. Thursday will be what was supposed to be last Friday's episode of Dad's technical snafus, apparently. I swear up and down I uploaded that damn thing. I apparently did not. And I needed to re-edit it anyway, so it works out. I needed to put something on Thursday because the interview I had scheduled, I didn't realize I scheduled a live interview for when I'd be on the ship, so that was kind of stupid of me. So that'll be in its place coming up on Thursday. That'll be an episode of Dad's Top 10 Songs to Play at a Halloween Party. JJ and I had a lot of fun recording that show. It was a great list from both sides, and I hope you guys enjoy that. Friday, while I'm already out and about, will be our replay of Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein from the Renegades Reviews show, which will be at 6:00 Eastern, 3 Pacific over on the Costume Studios channel. That'll be Friday night. And whenever I can, we will have live updates from the high seas out on the Chris Jericho cruise. And if you have not already booked, I think there's still cabins available. It's a little late as far as, the COVID testing and all the paperwork, but you can pull it off. ChrisJerichoCruise.com, hashtag Jericho Cruise. We'd love to see you out there. It'll be a lot of fun this weekend. I am looking forward to it. I appreciate the well wishes in my chat and Aaron's chat a few minutes ago. It's my first ever cruise I've ever been on, like an actual real cruise. I've been, like the Catalina Harbor, the Catalina Cruise, and the LA Harbor and whatnot. But actually, my first ever legit cruise. I don't know about the matches. I'm sure they're going to tape some stuff for Dynamite and Rampage because we're going to be gone for 4 days, including Friday, where Rampage is usually live. So, or not live, but it airs Fridays. So I would think they'll throw to the cruise at some point during the weekend. I'm going for the wrestling, of course. I'm going for Fozzy. I'm definitely going for Paradise Kitty. My friends, the Guns N' Roses female tribute band, they are awesome. They'll be performing 3 nights or 3 shows over the weekend. So it's going to be a great, great weekend. And I don't think I'll be home in time to do this show next Monday night, but I will be live next Tuesday for Boy Sports Bar on my channel and back on Aaron's channel for Talk Wrestling on that front. So again, thank you all for watching tonight. Much appreciated. Again, tomorrow, the double shot. Stay tuned for that on both the Jeff Meacham Network and NoDQ.com until tomorrow afternoon. And make sure you check out Renegades Reviews all week long for more classic horror reviews. You got House of Frankenstein, Mummy's Curse, House of Dracula, and as we mentioned, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein on Friday, Creature from the Black Lagoon Saturday, and Sunday will be Revenge of the Creatures. So JJ's busy, I'm busy. It's going to be make sure to watch all those shows while I'm gone. Let me know how they are. I can't wait. It's gonna be a rocket buster for sure. I can't wait to. And also on the show Friday, it'll actually be both JJ and I on the show reviewing Alex Tell Me Frankenstein. We're gonna record that. I think we agreed on tomorrow. So we're gonna do that tomorrow morning, and it'll be up for you guys Friday afternoon at 6 and 7. So be sure to check that out. Thank you very much, Kevin. Thank you very much, Brendan. Thank you all for watching tonight. We'll see you tomorrow again for Snap Boy Sports Bar and Talk Wrestling on my channel, Aaron's channel, and of course tomorrow's review, which will be, as he said, House of Frankenstein over on the Costume Studios. That's it for me, guys. Have a great night. We will see you tomorrow. Wonderful time. Take it easy.